Hello and welcome to the 2024 IPF World Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in St. Paul's Bay, Malta. I am Amelia Potter, and this afternoon for you we have the 52 kilo junior women, and following we have a flight of the 57 kilo B group. This evening we will be seeing the 57 kilo A group fighting for those world titles. But for now, we'll have the 52s and the 57Bs. Not completely unheard of to see medals from the B group, so still probably in for some excitement there. But up first, you can see the list of the 15 52s we have here and their opening attempts. We have some big openers. Biggest coming from Italy with Missiano opening at 145, 15 kilos below the world record.
So we need few minutes in a table because suddenly now it will be three groups.
My apologies, it's
A
three
B
groups,
group in
not
52 kilo
two
category.
groups. I think we've just
Sorry
had a
about
change
this.
there, as of course there was 15 in the
So we
group.
just need to get
Just getting that fixed up
everybody
for us
right
there.
spot
In the
to the
meantime,
A group and B
just a
group.
quick chat about what the
So
scoreboard looks like in the 52s.
can we take a
The
little
leader
time?
on prognosis ahead by 15 kilos. Now it's El Haddad from Lebanon. A new Lebanese athlete, of course, the world champion from last year being Joya, who isn't actually nominated today. So really, really interesting to see another Lebanese athlete nominated in first, and excited to see how that pans out. Then there will be a fight for both silver and podium between Herbel from France, Missiano from Italy with that big squat, and Palacios Talado from Canada. Now, not so far behind is Sim from Mexico, so actually I think a very exciting 52 kilo battle for you today. Just had the flights changed, and we're going to have a group of 6 followed
And
by a
now it
group of
looks
9,
like
I
we have
believe,
6
in the 52s, and then a
athletes in
third group of
first group.
57s.
Referees, please get ready.
Before we kick off, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Eleiko and SPD.
Okay, now the bar is loaded.
We have Brazil's Natalie
Natalie
Alves
Alves comes
opening
first,
with
press the
90
90
kilos.
kilos. Let's go.
I believe she lifted in the acquit. I could be wrong there. Already opening 10 kilos above her personal best. That looks good. Green white light say good lift.
Long Kyu-che from Hong Kong comes next. Load, get ready. Bar is loading. Long Kyu-che, Hong Kong.
Long Ki-tse from Hong Kong opening at 97.5 kilos. Opening 10 kilos below her personal best. Very smooth and comfortable opener for Q. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Please flow from Singapore. Comes next with 100 kilos opener. Bar is loading.
Glynis Low from Singapore opening on 100 kilos. Another comfortable looking opener there. 3 white lights, a good lift. So of course there's now being separate flights. We'll have 2 flights of 52s and then a flight of 57 following, meaning that the Italian lifter I mentioned for with the 145 kilo squat will be out after all of these lifters have done all 3 squats among the rest of the 52s. Lucia Alvarez Belmont from Spain, opening at 105 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift.
110 kilos, 2 times on a bar. Another bar is loaded for Sarah McCormack, Ireland.
Sarah McCormack from Ireland, opening on 110 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift.
Bar is loading. So gonna meet her personal best.
Hinano Miura from Japan, 110 kilos. First year competing and already opening 10 kilos above her personal best. We are well over double body weight now for openers. Our heaviest opener of the flight weighed in at 52 kilos on the dot, so maybe a bit of a difficult cut. Obviously he's travelled all the way from Japan, so travel can make a huge difference there. Let's see how this moves. That looks good. And it is 3 white lights.
First round. And we start second with Alves from Brazil, 95 kilos. Bar is loaded. Natalie Alves.
And that concludes our opening attempts with all 6 lifters managing to get a squat in on the board. McCormack currently leading, remembering that there is a second flight to follow. We head through to the second attempts now, and kicking us off we have Natalie Alves from Brazil with 95 kilos on the bar. Ooh, seemed to run out of steam a little bit there. Fortunately, that's a no lift. 5 kilos, of course, being about a 10% of their body weight. So still a relatively big jump here, and I'm worried that even if she had managed to push through that, she wouldn't have been given the lift due to depth. So she can try that again on her third. 105 kilos for Glynis Lowe from Singapore to match her personal best.
Let's go, Glynis. Easy bait.
Little bit of work, but still moving well for Lowe, and it is a good lift.
Long Kiu Che comes next with same weight. Bar is loaded. Che from Hong Kong.
Cute Long. 105 kilos. 7.5 kilo jump from her opener.
Let's go, sir. Easy weight. Come on.
Big smile at the top there for Say. 3 white lights, a good lift. Of course, with 15 lifters in the flight, not everybody can walk away on the podium, so a lot of these lifters and athletes come for different reasons, different goals. That's what they'll be pushing for today. Lucia Alvarez Belmont, 110 kilos. A lovely deep squat there from Alvarez. That is a good lift. So it's quite obvious when a squat is deep, but if you're not sure about the rules of powerlifting, for it to not be deep enough is for the hip crease to be above the top of the knee. So we're looking for below the knee joint, the hip crease to be parallel is not low enough. Luckily not had too many issues with depth so far, and hopefully that continues on, but if we do, I'll make sure to point that out. Sarah McCormack from Ireland, 115 kilos.
Let's go, Sarah.
Very smooth second there for Sarah. 3 white lights, a good lift. It's important to note that although it will say that the squat ranks are moving around, those won't be secure as we have the next flight of 52s following, who will be opening at heavier weights. Hinano Miura from Japan, jumping 7.5 kilos to 117.5. This would further extend her personal best.
Let's go.
Oh, a big fight. I was going to say when she made the jump, 7.5 kilos is a big jump for a 52 kilo lifter. Not unheard of, but generally you'll see the 5 kilo jump towards the second, and then more often than not, a 2.5 or 5 to the third. And that concludes our second round of squats, already heading down to the third final round of squats for this first flight of 52s, to be followed with the next flight. Natalie Alves retaking 95 kilos. Seemed to be a strength issue on her second. So let's see if she can put herself into sixth gear for this. Yeah, unfortunately not quite there. Glynis Lowe from Singapore, 110 kilos. This is for a new personal best.
Let's go, Linus. Personal best, come on.
look at that grind. Unfortunately, just got stuck there. Absolutely phenomenal effort. I really thought she was going to break through that after that, but have a look at that again. She got so high up on that squat before she missed. Such a frustrating sticking point.
Let's go. Personal best.
Long Kyutse from Hong Kong. 110 kilos on the bar. Calms herself and the crowd for her third attempt. A personal best should she make this.
Come on, girl. You can do it.
Heavier than she's ever done before. The nerves are bound to be high. And it looks good. A huge smile there for Q. 3 white lights, a good lift, a phenomenal third attempt, and a new personal best.
For the openers for the second group. Now the bar is loaded for Lucia Alvarez, Spain. This will take her in first place.
Lucia Alvarez from Spain, 115 kilos. Still 7.5 kilos below her personal best, so perhaps injured coming into this. Travel makes a huge difference. Wow, a great third attempt there. She really sinks those squats. 3 white lights, a good lift. And although you are assured to get white lights to depth, definitely is harder to get back out of that position when you squat that deep. There's definitely a trade-off. Hinano Miura from Japan, 117.5 kilos. Missed this on her second, looking to retake it now and get it on her third.
Ampare Miura, it's yours.
Unfortunately, not there today. Did her best to fight through it, but the spotters took it as it had already started dipping. You can see here, she started pushing through and it started to roll up her back a little bit and get knocked out of position. I think it was just a bit too heavy for today. Our final squat attempt from this first flight of 52s belongs to Sarah McCormack from Ireland. 120 kilos to match her personal best. Oh, what a fantastic effort. She hit some turbulence, but I don't think the bar dipped. 2 to 1, a good lift. So yeah, that blue light would have been what I was just referencing. If the bar dips at all or goes down, any downwards movement, it will be a blue light and account for a no lift. But it seems like her legs dips a bit, but not the bar, which is incredible to be able to do that. And we head straight now into the next flight of 52s, where we have a flight of 9. Kicking us off, we have Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands, 117.5 kilos. Very easy looking opener there for Carleen, and a good lift.
Lisa Wolf from Australia comes with same and 17.5. And bar is loaded.
Lisa Vo from Australia, 117.5 kilos. Opening 10 kilos below her personal best. Last year as a junior, but has only been competing for 1 year, so very impressive to be in that A flight group. Looks really smooth.
And it's a good lift.
Currently on 8th in prognosis, but only 10 kilos separates 8th and 4th, with 4th just being currently 7.5 kilos off of the podium. So a really, really tight group here. Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, 122.5 kilos. Three white lights, a good lift.
And wait for Richard Harris, Great Britain. Bar is loaded.
Bridget Paris from Great Britain, opening on 122.5 kilos.
Time is running. Richard Paris, Great Britain.
30 seconds left on the clock. Not sure what held them up in the tunnel there, but she's out and just needs to get the start command before the time runs out, not complete the lift. Lovely smooth opener there. Even having rushed it a little bit is a good lift. So at the beginning of the squat, you need to be in an upright position, but you can see she does that, then bends over a little bit to get into the position she wants to be for squatting. So if you see a lifter starting bent over and being told to stand up more, that's a way you can get around it. No rules against moving position after getting the start command. Amy Espinoza Torres from Costa Rica. Our first Costa Rican athlete I believe we've had all championships. Opening on 132.5 kilos. Just 2.5 kilos below her personal best.
No pesa.
Three white lights, a good lift.
Easy opener. And the 35 kilos for 3 seconds on ball. The on ball comes first, and then Sim, get ready. Bar is loaded. Ines Herbeau from France.
We now have Inès Herbeau from France, 135 kilos. Lovely easy opener and a big contender there for podium. Currently on prognosis in silver.
From Mexico.
Christy Sim from Mexico now, 135 kilos. Joined now by David Hoffman from Australia, Australian coach. Thank you for joining me.
Good to be here.
Seemed like a nice, comfortable opener. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Nice opener. Next, Yara El Haddad from Lebanon, under 40 kilos, and bar is loaded for you. Yalla!
Our current leader on prognosis, Yara Al Haddad from Lebanon, 140 kilos, a big opener in the 52s.
You're looking in contention for the podium here or a squat medal?
Yeah, of course, our teammate Joya, the reigning 52 kilo world champion in the juniors.
Very smooth.
Yeah, it's a very efficient squat style. 2 to 1. She does get a depth call there, so we'll have a look at that again on the replay. You can tell me what you think of that, David.
Yeah, I can see where it comes from. I think slightly better side angle might show us a bit more there, but I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, I think she'll be safe with that one. Definitely won't want to go much higher. Our heaviest opener here, just 15 kilos below the junior world record, Elisa Misiano from Italy.
Yeah, she might be trying to hunt that one.
Yeah, we'll see how this moves, and if it goes well, I wouldn't be surprised to see that on her third attempt. Although she is pushing for podium, so depends where her goal lays.
Beautiful squat.
Yeah, that was so comfortable for her. A good lift. Now, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them jump somewhere in between for her second and then chip that on her third.
Yep, I agree with that. Alright, back to the top.
Yeah, that concludes our openers with all those 52s managing to get one on the board. We head straight to Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands, 125 kilos.
Let's go, girl.
We'll see what the judges say.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, it's a narrow stance, so sometimes can be tough for the referees and for us to see the depth, but should be easier from this angle. It looked okay to me.
Yeah, it looks nice. And confirmed by 3 white lights.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa Vo from Australia, your very own here, 125 kilos.
I'm very excited to see if she can climb her way up the nominations. I believe she's nominated at 5th, so we'll see if she can claw into that 4th and hopefully into that 3rd position.
Yeah, it's very, very close in this class. Yeah, unfortunately, just seemed to have a bit of a wobble at the bottom there. Perhaps nerves getting to the better of her.
Potentially, it looked like she wanted to try and fight out of that at the bottom too, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think good that she failed it where she did, so she didn't use too much energy, but hopefully can come back and gain those extra kilos again.
Yeah, it looked like she might have just shifted backwards a little bit too much out of the bottom there and then lost it.
Bridget Paris from Great Britain, 130 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump.
I didn't see her opener, but I'm sure it's going to be smooth.
Yeah, she had to rush her opener a little bit, but it was really easy, so I wouldn't be surprised with more time and more patience now to see this move well. That is a very deep squat.
Should be 3 lights.
Yeah, 3 white lights, a good lift. Have a look at that again from the side angle.
Giovanna Palacios comes next, bar is loaded.
Yeah, no arguing with that.
Yeah. Sometimes I see a squat from the front, I'm like, wow, that was deep. And I see the side angle and I was like, oh no, it was just in. But that one really was very deep.
From every angle.
Yeah. Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, 132.5 kilos. A 10 kilo jump, which is pretty large in the 52s. Don't see that too often.
She handled that 10 kilo jump quite well.
Yeah, and 2-1, a good lift.
2-1.
We're sat on the side where she gets the red from, and we'll see that on the replay as well. And I was worried it was a bit borderline, but let's have a look.
140 kilos bars. Loading.
It was one of those squats that I think could have gone either way, so luckily a good lift.
And the jury doesn't seem to disagree either.
We now have Amy Espinoza Torres from Costa Rica, 140 kilos. This will be a 5 kilo personal best for Amy should she make this.
Vamos. Fuerte.
Does really well to push through that. I want to wait for the lights there.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we both thought the same thing there. And it can happen with lifters in their second attempt. They feel safe that they've got their first. It gets heavier, they're a little bit more nervous. And you can see here, just too high, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll see if she can come back on that third and clean it up a little bit because we see the strength is there.
140 kilos for Inez Herbeau from France.
A lot of impressive French lifters over the last couple of days, so it'll be interesting to see where she lands as well.
Yeah, she is fighting for a podium position, and like I said before, it really is tight. There's a few lifters in there, so every kilo does count.
Very nice.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, plenty left in the tank.
Yeah, big bench as well.
If she's anything like some of her French cohorts as well, she'll know how to grind through a squat if she needs to.
Let's see this heavier.
140 kilos for Christy Sim from Mexico. 5 kilo jump.
So this will take
Has a
her
personal
third
best of
place.
151, which I imagine is a national Mexican record.
Let's go, Christy.
So this should be pretty
Vamos.
comfortable for her. Of course, Mexico's pretty far from where we are now, so the travel would have affected her.
There we go, 3 white lights, even with a slightly upset walk out there by bumping the rack, still manages to execute really well.
And we have Yara from Lebanon.
Yeah, it took her time after getting that squat command, because that's where you risk running out of time, is before the squat command. Once you get it, you can take your time, and that shows experience. 145 kilos for Yara El Hadid from Lebanon.
She had a great opener, we'll see how the second moves with a 5 kilo jump.
A favourite to win, but not so far ahead that she can start missing lifts. Shows incredible patience under that bar.
Yeah, stays under it really, really well. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, just gets called on depth from the side referees. We'll have a look at that in the replay as the coach goes to the jury.
150 kilos bars. Loading.
Again, it's one of those ones that could go either way, so he goes to the jury and we'll keep our eye on that. But for now, we head through to the heaviest squatter of the flight, Elisa Misiano of Italy, 150 kilos. A smaller jump than I anticipated, so maybe we won't see that record jump to today.
Nike.
Maybe playing it slightly conservative, just trying to maximize every kilo in what is a tight 52 kilo class.
Yeah, again, lovely and smooth, but you're right, you know, it's no lift as well. Again,
Wow.
the 2 top contenders on the flight, or 2 of them. Let's have a look at that again.
Third round.
I was going to say, it's not just, you know, the weight you go to, but how you get there as well. But
The judges do have a slightly different angle to us, so it could be that it looks slightly different in person, so we'll see what the jury says about these.
we head through to our third attempts of squats with 4 of the 9 lifters not making their second attempt. Lisa Vo, of course, one of the 4, and one of the 4 potentially fighting for that podium, but she needs to make up these kilos. She loses 7.5 if she doesn't get this, 125. Like we said, there was a bit of hesitation and knocking out position at the bottom, so hopefully A small fix. Oh, what an effort! Unfortunately, she just was rocking back and forth on her feet, and it was just too hard to push through from that position.
Closer than the second. A little bit execution was a little bit better there, but not quite enough to get that one up.
30 kilos attempt.
Great fight.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal effort, and she's not out of the picture yet. Like I said, there are other lifters up there that have missed their second attempts. 130 kilos for Colleen Schmid from the Netherlands to match her personal best.
Unfortunate miss there.
Yeah, it's a hard position to grind through because a lot of these lifters use the momentum of dipping into the hole to
With
stand up.
With that narrow stance as well, you do fold over just a little bit more, so any loss of position does make it a little bit harder to recover from.
Yeah, absolutely. 135 kilos for Bridget Paris. A 5 kilo jump, which I think is completely justifiable based on her second.
Yeah, she should be pretty cruisy here from what we saw from that second.
Let's go, girl.
A little bit unstable on her back there, but takes her time and has plenty of it. Absolutely great effort from
Beautiful.
Paris, yeah.
Great effort.
That is a good lift.
She seems happy with that.
As she should be, yeah. And I was going to say, she holds the bar quite wide for a lightweight woman.
I agree.
Yeah, you can go.
Seems
Love
to
the
work
squat.
for her.
That's true.
And this is your personal best attempt.
137.5 kilos for Giovanna Palacios Toledo.
Big jump into the +5, playing it conservative.
Yeah, and it seems like the right call. The 10 actually looked alright, but
Yeah.
getting to that top end.
We'll see how much is left.
That is an absolutely fantastic grind. Wow.
Perfect attempt selection there from the Canadians. Oh,
Another lifter stung by depth there. Have a look again in the replay. It's important to remember that the jury are also looking over all of these as well. Just missed that on the replay, but the jury will have it.
yeah, that looks like they're having a discussion now, so we'll see what happens.
I think they are overruling that. I'll keep my eye out for that, but it looked like they were leaning towards, in the time being, Amy Espinosa, and they have. It's been overruled to a good lift. Amy Espinosa Torres, 142.5.
Electing to go up 2.5 kilos from what it was a missed second. So we'll see if this risk pays off.
Personal best, let's go.
Like you said, if she misses, she's lost 10 kilos, but of course, if she gets it, it's a big reward. Just too heavy today.
Even with the miss, still has quite a competitive total here, with the prognosis being 337, so she's right in that middle ground here. We'll see if she can make it up with some good bench and deadlift attempts.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I can see why the risk was taken. It would have left her 10 kilos off podium heading into bench press, but, you know, big risk, big reward, and vice versa. Yara El Haddad from Lebanon now, 145 kilos. Missed this on her second, I believe, on depth. Let's see if she can do it again, just a tad deeper.
That looked better.
It did look better.
I just don't agree.
No, they don't. Let's have a look at that again in the replay. Definitely looked better from our angle, but we're not sat where the referee sat, like David said. I've got to say, I stick by what my opinion was initially, but the jury will be the final say on that. Inez Herbeau from France, 145, and the jury has overruled to a good lift.
There we go.
The jury giveth and they taketh away.
Costa Rica lifter, good lift.
This will move Inez into squat silver for the time being and guarantee her at least a bronze. Wow. Oh my goodness, she is still going. And you have to respect the grind on that.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That's, like you said just before this, I believe, the French are known for their ability to grind, and I think she showcased that pretty well.
Yeah, and you know that felt like she was under there for a lifetime.
Mexico, and this is gold medal attempt over Messiano from Italy.
There we go. So this will actually, oh no, body weight here. So this will actually mean that she retains the bronze medal for squat.
Christy Sim from Mexico, yeah, 147.5. This will move her actually into squat gold for the time being. And her bow, as you said, maintains bronze currently on body weight. So if she misses this, she misses the podium entirely. If she gets this, she gets at least squat silver.
Oh wow.
Let's see if this one was deep enough.
And it was. There we go.
3 white lights moves into squat gold for the time being, with only Messiano to follow to take that away potentially.
From Italy, with 152.5 kilos. Bars loaded.
And now here comes Elisa Messiano, and again another lifter taking a slight risk here. You know, taking that 2.5 kilo jump. The weight was good, strength was there, just needs to go a little bit deeper. And as we said, she's fighting for a podium position, so it really does matter.
Looking to take back that squat gold as well. Let's see if she can do it.
Hi, Elisa. Kai, it's yours.
Oh wow, beautiful. Do the judges agree?
There we go, 3 white lights, and the risk pays off, and she puts herself in a great position heading into bench press to push for that podium.
Great call from Team Italy there.
Yeah, and as you said, she's got a big bench on her as well, so can gain ground there as her deadlift is slightly smaller. Unless, of course, that is a false opener, but we'll have to wait and see.
It looks fake, just from the outset, but we'll see what happens.
And now, very quickly, before heading into the 57 kilo B group, in squat bronze, we have El Hadid from Lebanon. In squat silver, we have Sim from Mexico. And in squat gold, as we could have probably guessed from the beginning, Messiano from Italy with 152.5. We head immediately into our third flight of lifters here, which will be the 57 kilo B group. The 57As to follow this evening. Not unusual though to potentially see a medal from a B group. We've seen it before. Van der Dame from Hungary, 95 kilos. Little bit of turbulence, but still looked like an easy enough weight for her.
Yeah, it could just be some nerves showing here on these openers. That is fairly common for the opener to be a little bit sketchy. Then once you're on the board, you can kind of settle into competition and relax a little bit more.
Yeah, especially if you're the first out in your flight. You know, you're setting the tone.
And bar is loaded. Welcome, Elise.
112.5 kilos for Elise Lombardo.
She'll be lifting at home today, which is awesome for the Malta crowd.
Yeah, really cool to see some more Maltese athletes competing every year. Of course, travel, I can't imagine, was too much of an issue. I've got to say that was a little harder than I expected, because what I was going to say when she walked out was, wow, that is a really easy, strong looking walkout for her, but it looked a little harder. Still a good lift.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on the second here, how much they choose to jump up. Maybe she is just a slow squatter, maybe it's a misgroove, who knows, we'll see.
And the bar is loaded. Ronnie Aruti.
115 kilos for Ronja Rutti from Finland.
Let's go, Ronja.
This is her first year as a junior, only 19 years old.
Very strong.
That was very easy and it's
3 white lights, a good lift. Actually, I'm just looking at the openers as the spotters load the bar, and we have a big 160 opener, which is, of course, 18 kilos below the world junior and open record belonging to Jad. Sorry, 28. Thank you for correcting my maths. I always need someone here to do that. We have Yu Ning Yi from Singapore now, 125 kilos.
Let's go, Yu Ying.
My point stands though, 160 kilos is a smashing opener. Stand by it. Very comfortable. I want to wait for the lights for that one.
There it is.
2-2-1.
Yeah, 2 to 1, a good lift.
I imagine that'll stand.
Yeah, we'll look at that on the replay. Like I said, we're sat on the side that gets that depth call at a slightly higher angle. But that looks better there.
Let's go, girl.
Australia's own, Daisy Brooks.
127.5 kilos for Daisy Brooks from Australia. I know Daisy had a little issue last week in training coming into this. So slightly injured, so great to see her still here competing, putting big numbers up. The weight looked really easy.
2 to 1.
Nice opener.
Again, just a depth call from the right-hand side referee. This is the side she gets that depth call from.
Alonso.
But has a squat in on the board, and the weight looked very easy for her.
Bar slowly. Vamos, Paula.
Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain, 137.5 kilos. Very narrow stance there, her knees almost working up with her.
Yeah, we do see that narrow squat stance a little bit more typically with lightweight lifters, so it's not super uncommon, but it seems to work for her.
Yeah, and you do actually see people using their knees pushing together to help them. I'm not sure how physically they can, but Tyra Rowland from New Zealand, 142.5 kilos. Some big openers in this B flight. Makes you wonder what the A flight openers are going to look like.
Very well executed.
3 white lights, a good lift. Yeah, like I said, I actually wouldn't be too surprised to see at least one of these girls maybe pushing for a squat medal overall from the B group.
It makes you wonder if the people in the A group are looking behind them and actually checking the scoreboard, seeing what people did in this session.
I think it's very easy to lose sight of that. You assume the B group have gone and they're not danger. Andrea Van Dijk from Canada, 142.5 kilos. A little tougher than you'd want an opener to look really, but it's a good lift.
And utilising that technique we just touched on before with that narrow stance, knees basically touching.
Yeah, it is slightly a harder position to grind through, but she could be one of those lifters that just squat slowly the entire way through.
Another bar slowly for her. Vamos, chica.
Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica, 152.5 kilos.
Another big opener here.
That to me moved a bit more like a second or a third, but I'll touch on what I said just before. Some lifters do just squat slowly, and I'm hoping that is the case because not many places you can go from there.
Yeah, it does look like New Zealand and Canada are looking to potentially leapfrog her if she doesn't add any more kilos to that 152 kilo opener.
We have our final opening attempt here in the B group, and like I said, a big one at that. 28 kilos, not 18 kilos, below the world record, but still getting close for Natalia Macha of Ukraine. 160, just 2.5 kilos below her personal best. I want to say Natalia competed in the equipped earlier in the week as well. Yeah, and that is really troublesome. Seeing not only hard openers here in the 57s, but also a miss on what looked like strength. We'll have a look again here.
The bar just rolled up her back slightly, but it still did just look like a strength issue.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it is something she can change because you can't just pull strength out of nowhere on the day.
Unfortunately.
And that concludes our opening attempts with all bar one lifter, Maha from Ukraine, getting a squat in on the board. Straight through to the second round of squats now with Vanda Demek from Hungary, 100 kilos.
And her opener was a little bit harder than we were looking for, so let's see what she can do here.
I'd say that moved about the same as her opener actually.
Yeah, I'd agree. Very similar. Might just be a slow squatter, like you said.
The 3 white lights, so in a good position heading into her third. She's not seen a red light yet, so knows she's doing something right.
Here we go.
115 kilos for Elise Lombardo of Malta.
Yeah, opting for a small jump after what was a hard opener.
Yeah, and this seems like the smart decision. You have to take what you have on the day. It's not always the plan you had going in, but the plan you had going in isn't always going to pan out the way you want.
Yeah, correct. You have to play the day.
And sometimes that is harder to convince juniors to do than other athletes.
Yeah, I know that very well.
But it's good to see Elise on board here, and it is just 2.5 kilos off her best ever squat, so perhaps shooting for that on her third. Yeah, that looked really nice.
That was actually almost easier than opener from memory.
Perhaps again, just, feeling a little bit more comfortable after she has a squat in on the board. I'd imagine she'd go to match her personal best, jumping 2.5 kilos after that. Bar is loaded for Ronja Ruti from Finland, 122.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump.
Another really powerful squat.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking that. A lot of power from the hole. You can see how much she uses her legs there.
Yeah, it looked just like her opener actually, so we'll see what she jumps to here.
Oh, wow. Fantastic squat.
Yeah, potentially another 7 in that.
Now we get to see how good your game day handling is with your jump guesses.
We'll see.
You now have Yu Ning Yi from Singapore, jumping 7.5 kilo to 132.5. And I think that's exactly where you want to be for your second attempt.
Yeah, that looked great. And I think almost deeper than the opener, from what I could tell, even though she did get one red light.
135 for Daisy. Power slowly.
Yeah, it looked okay from here, and I think just because her knees went in a little bit, it's hard to tell where that hip crease is. Daisy Brooks now from Australia, 135 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump, landing her 10 kilos below her best ever squat. Some great colour coordination there from Daisy.
Yeah, the bow ties look fantastic.
I've got to say that New Australia singlet is just simply lovely as well. Again, the weight looks comfortable, but yeah, unfortunately, I was just a little bit worried about that depth.
Yeah, and 3 leg swings, no jury interaction here. That is simply going to be a no lift.
Have a look at that again in the replay, see how much further she has to go for her third attempt. Clearly strong enough, so just needs to sink it a couple inches more. Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain, 142.5 kilos.
Vamos, chica. No pesa.
Probably faster than opener, actually.
Yeah, that was really, really comfortable for Paula, and a good lift. Again, in a great position on your second, can really add a good amount of kilos.
Very convincing depth as well.
Yeah, it was. It was a really lovely looking squat. 147.5 kilos for Tyra Rowland, New Zealand.
Yeah, into the squat silver, if she is successful with this.
Let's go, Tyra. Up, come on.
Good grind there from Tyra. 3 white lights, a good lift. I'd say probably maybe 150 for her third there.
Yeah, I'd agree there. And with Spain electing 147, that'll secure her the squat medal.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until we have the 57A group this evening, but for now, you know, like I said, it's not unusual to see occasionally medals from the B group. 150 kilos for Andrea Van Dyke from Canada. 7.5 kilo jump from her opener. I really respect the grind there. I did think, if I'm being honest, 7.5 was quite ambitious after how her opener did move.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think a good example of go with what you have on the day, not what you and your coach planned heading into the competition.
Yep, we'll see. I mean, looks like she can grind pretty hard. We'll see if she's going to muster up something and have a crack again.
157.5 kilos for Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica.
Similar to Canada here, I think we might see another hard squat based on how hard this opener was. So we'll see.
Vamos, María, no pesa.
Actually, very smooth. Definitely did slow down, but pretty comfortable looking second.
There we go, and 2 white lights.
Now, Natalia Maha from Ukraine. Good luck with first one. Also comes second time. Power slowly. Let's go, Natalia. Давай.
Now, Natalia Maha from Ukraine, 160 kilos. She didn't get this in her opener, and it looked like a strength issue, and I'm hoping it's not the case, but like we said, we can't really see too much else that happened.
Yeah, we do really want to see her get on the board here, so hopefully she does turn this one around.
And again, the same story, the same place where she broke down. And it's hard because I've seen this a few times this week. So lifters who lift in equipped and then classic, who don't normally change their game day style up from equipped, which we know is a lot more aggressive. And I've seen a similar situation happen earlier. So before heading into thirds, we can see Natalia Maha still without a squat on the board, leading Rojas Solis, followed by Roland and Van Dijk, of course, with the A group to follow. Van der Dame from Hungary, 102.5 kilos for her third and final squat.
Smart call here. I think she can do this. Got that one wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately not quite there, but it's important to note these are 52 kilo lifters, so 2.5 is still about 5% of their body weight. And it's the smallest increment you can jump.
Yep, so she maximized all her kilos there, failing a 2 kilo jump, so
Elise Lombardo on home soil here, 117.5 kilos as suspected to match her personal best. Just a bit of a breakdown at the bottom there.
it lost some balance. We knew it was going to be a bit of a fight, but unfortunately she did lose some balance.
Yeah, and like you said before, because it's the smallest increment you can jump, unless it's a record, she loses out on nothing there. She got everything she could out of the squat.
I did predict a 130 on this squat, so we'll see if there's any kilos left in this one. See if I can redeem myself here with some attempt selection.
127.5 for Ronja Ruti from Finland. Yeah, the second did look really good. She's a very powerful squatter. And this would still be a 5 kilo personal best, which I think was the PB she only just got on her second anyway. Yeah, that's a lovely third attempt from Ronja.
Very nice. A little bit shaky on the walkout, but she squatted it lovely.
Yeah, I thought so too. I think she looked a bit nervous for that. Again, more than she's ever lifted before. But it was a lovely final attempt. 135 kilos for Uni Yi from Singapore.
Another 2.5 kilo jump here, trying to maximize every kilo she can.
Let's go, girl.
Yeah, it was a lovely third attempt.
Yep, played it safe, got the kilos.
Unfortunately, not deep enough there. We'll have a look at that again in the replay.
Looks like the jury is checking this one out.
I think that could definitely go either way. So we keep our eye on the jury. But for now, we have Daisy Brooks from Australia. 135 was a very comfortable weight for Daisy. Just a stitch high. Needs to retake it here and sink it to get those extra 7.5 kilos.
Come on, girl. You can do it. Let's go.
And the previous lift will remain a no lift. Again, the weight looked easy. Unfortunately, 2-1, a no lift. Not deep enough. Let's have a look at that again in the replay. Coach doesn't seem to be going to the jury, so I think they may be in agreement with that. 147.5 kilos for Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain. for a
Personal
2.5
best
kilo
attempt.
personal best.
And her second was better than her open here, so a nice smooth 5 kilo jump should be within reach.
I remember when this weight would get you podium at the Open Worlds in the 57s, so for this to be in the B group 57s at Junior Worlds is absolutely insane. You know it's good when you're smiling right at the bottom
Yeah,
there.
she knew.
It was a beauty.
Very happy with that one.
Yeah, really great effort there. Spain producing some excellent squatters the last few years.
Yeah, one of their lifters taking out the 59 kilo class last night with a 600 kilo total.
Yeah, absolutely. Spain, a growing nation on the rise. 150 kilos for Tyra Rowland from New Zealand.
Let's go, Tyra.
Just a little bit too much, but like we said, jumping 2.5 kilos means you got everything you absolutely could out of the day. And the form didn't break down at all. You know, she did a great job of staying in that position, just wasn't there today.
Yeah, she held shape really well.
150 kilos to be retaken by Andrea Van Dyke from Canada.
She did have a good crack at this one last time, so we'll see if she has the grind in her to try and get this one up.
Let's go. You got it.
Oh my goodness, and she
Wow.
manages to stand it up this time. And
Wow.
it pays off. Look at that. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
I take it back, Canada. The 7.5 kilo jump was fine. Clearly, they know what they are doing better than I do, but
That's unreal.
what an effort from Van Dyke
Yeah, what
there.
a fight. She wants to stay in contention.
Absolutely. Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica for a 160 kilo third attempt. This is a huge squat for a 57 kilo lifter. Unfortunately, just couldn't get through that sticking point, but absolutely phenomenal effort. Still walks away with 157.5.
A lot riding on this last squat here for Ukraine.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if I'm being completely truthful, I'm not feeling confident, but I felt the same about Van Dyke and she proved me wrong. So
let's hope it's the same story here.
Natalia Maha from Ukraine has missed 160 twice on what seems like strength. We're hoping she can come back again on her third, but it's not looking likely. Unfortunately not there, and I'm worried that if she did fight through that and get it, it would have been too high anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. It looked like she did try and cut it a little bit there for the sake of trying to make the squat.
Have a look at that one more time. She can continue to lift, but unfortunately cannot post a total. And a quick summary here, of course, considering we have the 57 kilo A group this evening. Currently sitting in squat bronze, we have Rowland of New Zealand. In silver, Van Dyke from Canada with that mammoth grind. And in gold, Rojas Solis from Costa Rica. Subject to change later with the A flight. We're going to head into a 10-minute break now before bench press, so don't go anywhere and we will see you then. Hello and welcome back to the 2024 IPF World Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in St. Paul's Bay, Malta. I'm Amelia Potter, joined by Australian team coach David Hoffman. Hello.
Hello again.
And we have for you the 52 kilo juniors, as well as the 57 kilo B group juniors. We've just had the squat session and we head straight through now to bench. Just a reminder, we have 2 flights of 52s and following we'll have the 57 B group. So if you're looking for a certain lifter, she may be one of the other flights. Kicking us off, we have Natalie Alves from Brazil, 35 kilos.
Lots of noise from the Brazilian supporters here.
Yeah, you know when Brazil's here, there could be 2 of them and it could sound like there's 10 of them.
Move just like an opener should.
Yeah, and a good lift. Opening on her personal best. So in a great position there.
Power is loaded.
Bar is loaded for Sarah McCormack from Ireland with 60 kilos.
Electing to get a hand out here, just explaining to the spotter what she's looking for.
Junior head coach Alex Cremens there looking over.
Looking quite handsome.
Again, another very comfortable opener.
Yeah, great openers so far.
Generally because bench press I would say is the hardest to grind, you'd want to see an opener that looks just about that comfortable.
Yeah, although with these lightweight lifters, they do often fall off quite quickly. They'll add a 2.5 and it'll just stick. So we'll see here.
Yeah. Hinano Miura from Japan, 62.5 kilos.
I do always enjoy watching the Japanese setup. They always have some really interesting setups. Quite known for their bench press.
Yeah, I was about to say Team Japan, notorious for being fantastic bench pressers. Yeah, very comfortable. 3 white lights, a good lift. If all goes well, usually during bench press openers, we won't have too much to say. It should be pretty smooth running.
Yeah, laying down does go pretty quickly.
Lucia Alvarez Belmont from Spain, 62.5 kilos. You can usually tell when a lifter used to put their feet up on the bench in the way they set up, which of course is not allowed anymore.
Great control.
Yeah, looks good. 3 white lights. I believe the no feet on the bench rule came in at the same time as the elbow rule,
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
which would have been about 18 months ago, I think. And when we say elbow depth, we're looking for the elbow joint to be in line or below the top of the shoulder. Glynis Lowe from Singapore, 65 kilos. Opening on her personal best. That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Long heel check from Hong Kong. Comes next at 67.5 kilos. So
Very big opener coming up here.
67.5 kilos for Long Kyu Tse from Hong Kong. The biggest opener of this first flight, as you said. Very easy opener there.
Yeah, living up to her Instagram handle of Rhonda's Moving Company.
Second round.
Let's have a look at that again before we head through to the second round of bench press.
Convincing depth in my eyes.
Yeah, that looked good. Exactly where you want it to be. Moving into the second round of bench press, we have Natalie Alves from Brazil, jumping 2.5 kilos after opening on a personal best.
I imagine this should move quite well.
And you were right, that was a very nice looking second attempt.
It's a good day. Your personal best. Congratulations. 65 kilos for Ireland. Slowly.
The rest of the flight taking a lot of very similar numbers. 65 kilos for Sarah McCormack from Ireland. Very matched personal best.
Let's go, Sarah.
Looking good to set up potential new PR here.
It's a good lift.
That is a good lift, 3 white lights.
And we have Luna and Alvarez, both 67.5 kilos into their second attempt. First loading. Hinano Ura, Japan. And first.
Hinano Miura from Japan, 67.5 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her opener, which was extremely comfortable.
Bahrain.
Getting some last minute instructions there from coach on setup. Still very comfortable and a good lift.
It looked a little bit wobbly on the chest there. Not sure if she just got the press command there.
I'll have a look here in the replay, adopting the Japanese style grip to a certain degree.
That looked quite nice on the replay.
Lucia Alvarez Belmont from Spain, 67.5 kilos.
Vamos, Lucia. No pesa.
Bar descended, I must say, a little bit like she was in an equipped shirt.
She just clipped the rack on the way down there.
Oh,
I
is
think.
that what it was?
Yeah, I think the right hand side just clipped the rack as she started bringing it down.
Have a look at that on the replay. I'll watch the right hand side. Yeah, you're right. That makes far more sense.
Still a smooth press.
Yeah, all things considered, if she doesn't clip that rack on the third, she should be all good. 70 kilos for Glynis Lowe, our penultimate second attempt. The same weight will be taken by Tse. is a big grind for low. Oh, that is such a shame.
Oh, that was such a
Very
good spot.
unfortunate. That was very
So
close.
no lift.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be able to break through that and lock it out, but not quite there.
Yeah, it looked like she had a decent punch off the chest. It just slowed right down, and then losing momentum meant she couldn't quite lock it out.
She wobbled on the way down to her chest. I'm wondering if she also clipped the rack. Long Kyusei from Hong Kong now, 70 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump from her opener. A very happy lifter.
Yeah, thinking the spotters early.
Not sure that's the mindset you want to head into bench with. Thank you for being there for me. Her opener was really nice and comfortable.
Yeah, I was expecting a 5 to be honest, so this should be just as easy.
Yeah, as you said, still really quite easy for her.
Yeah, very technically efficient bench press.
But as you said before, at this kind of body weight, you know, a 2.5 kilo jump and a 5 kilo jump are very different, and a lot of time for bench press, it just drops off.
Yeah, it's all the difference, that's for sure.
We head into the third round of bench for this first flight of 52s before heading into the A group 52s afterwards. Natalie Alves from Brazil, 40 kilos on the bar for a third and final attempt.
There we go. Great attempt selection from Team Brazil.
Yeah, excellent grind there and a good lift. Seeing some great benching in this flight, and we haven't seen really any infractions other than, you know, a fail on perhaps strength. We've seen no yellows, no blue cards, which is really impressive to see.
Yeah, it's great. We'll see if that changes.
Sarah McCormack from Ireland, 67.5 kilos.
Nice 2.5 kilo PB here if she is successful.
All right, perfect third attempt there. 2-1, a good lift, and I think I spoke too early there. We just get a yellow from the side referee, perhaps for a lift of sorts. Let's have a look in the replay. I can see it's a little floaty.
Yeah, looks like there's some daylight there.
Ah, there it is.
Yep, right at the end.
Right at the end.
We'll see if the jury took a look at that and decides to change it.
In the meantime, Glynis Lowe from Singapore, 70 kilos, retaking it. Yeah, and the jury has overruled McCormack's to a no lift. Your glutes must stay on the bench throughout, as well as your heels and your head. Glynis Lowe now, 70 kilos.
Just not today.
Yeah, and just off the pressing as well, it started to move forwards, and it's really hard to regain that line.
There we go. After smoking her opener, just like we talked about before, they did opt for a 5 kilo jump, so it just might have been slightly too much, even with what was a convincing opener.
Hinana Miura from Japan, 70 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump from her second.
And a 2.5 kilo bench press PB if she is successful.
Let's go, girl. Where's Novice? Come on.
Just needs to get the start command before the time runs out. 20 seconds still, plenty of time.
3 white lights.
Phenomenal effort there.
Yeah, great press. A little bit wonky on the way up, but no bar dip, so 3 white lights.
Yeah, the bar can go up, one side at a time. It can even stop. It just can't dip or go down. 70 kilos remains on the bar for Lucia Alvarez Belmont from Spain. Very new personal best.
Wow. Great bench press.
3 white lights, a good lift. Alvarez having a great day of lifting so far.
Long Q Che from Hong Kong. 72.5 kilos and bars loaded.
I imagine this would be just as easy as her second.
Yeah, as you said, you expected a 5 kilo jump, and it would have been absolutely there between her first and her second. Jumps again 2.5 to 72.5 for her third.
Yeah, we'll see if I'll eat my words here. This will decide that.
I think with this is what she was aiming for, though. She'll take home a national record to Hong Kong, currently standing at 71 kilos, I believe.
Personal best.
Yeah, and I think that was the right call there, actually.
I agree. Just like we mentioned, the lightweight lifters do slow down quite quickly with the 2.5 kilo jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. And she takes home that national record as well, which is, I'm sure, what she was aiming for. We move straight into the second flight of 52s, where we will see lifters fight for those bench press medals and collect kilos for that overall. First out, we have Bridget Paris from Great Britain, 57.5 kilos.
She did end 3 for 3 on squat, so we'll see if she can do the same here.
Yeah, just as comfortable as her squat opener.
Very, very fast.
Amy Espinoza Torres from Costa Rica, coming out for 65 kilos. Just asking for a handout there. Some lifters give more explicit instructions. Some lifters like Amy just say, yep, I'd like a handout.
Yeah, I'll take one of those. It's going to be different every time anyway, so depends how specific you like things.
Yeah, lovely and easy there.
Very comfortable.
And a good lift. And it's also almost to the benefit of the lifter to be less specific, or at least not require something so specific, because like you said, it's going to be different all the time, and if you have an idea of a perfect handout, then it can only really go wrong most of the time.
Correct. Things feel different, you get in your head about it, and then things might not go as you'd like.
Exactly. Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands, 65 kilos.
Looks like a lifter opting for a self handout here.
Yeah, and the positive with that obviously is reliable, and you know exactly what you're getting into. Pretty smooth opener there.
Yeah, looks like she's got quite long arms. They're looking at the range of motion on that bench, so we'll be seeing what her... Oh, just a close grip, sorry.
Yeah, she does have quite a big deadlift in this class though, so those are two things normally tied together. Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, 67.5 kilos. opening just 2.5 kilos below her best. Clipped the rack, but managed to still lock it out. I don't think it would have caused her any issues.
Nope.
Yeah, still okay. 3 white lights. Still skips off.
Yeah, sometimes what can happen is with a self-unrack, you like to get quite underneath the bar, so you'll slide further back on the bench press, meaning you are a little bit further under those J hooks.
Yeah. Lisa Vo from Australia, 67.5 kilos. Lost out on a few kilos on her squat, so looking to regain them here on her bench. Still not out of the game, but she will want some of the other contenders ahead of her to make some misses in order to climb back up. It's a good lift. It looked like a comfortable opener for her.
Yeah, not quite good. I think her top end is probably around 72, 75, so we'll see what they opt for with the jump here.
I imagine to see 72 on her second and maybe a push to 75 on that third.
Sounds right.
Christy Sim from Mexico, opening with 67.5 kilos.
It's a good lift.
3 white lights, a good lift for Christy.
Lots of great openers here.
From Lebanon. Ready?
Big jump up here for these next 3 bench presses.
Yeah, very impressive openers. Just for a point of reference, the World Junior record, also the World Open record, is 113.5 kilos. So a little way off there, but still, these are big openers. Yara El Haddad from Lebanon, opening with 80 kilos. Our favourite to win on prognosis. Let's see how this opener moves for her. That is a good lift. A pretty close grip there.
Yeah, very close grip.
Usually the brakes come on pretty quickly when that gets heavy, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles those jumps.
Also elbow, who is coming after Misiano and bar slowly.
Our penultimate opener here on bench press, we have Elisa Misiano from Italy, who walked away with the squat gold. A strong contender for podium overall, as will be the final bench presser, Herbo. And her and Herbo are both taking this weight at the exact same body weight.
Very fast.
Good lift.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Now we get to see who moves it faster at the exact same body weight.
Bar slowly.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what that jump looks like for both of them. I'm sure they'll be pushing each other both for kilos and for the bench medal. Speaking of which, here we have Inès Herbeau of France, taking the same weight, 85 kilos. Wow, that was also very, very comfortable. 3 white lights, a good lift. So as I mentioned before, Misiano and Herbeau both weigh exactly the same, just separated by lot number currently. So Misiano with the lower lot number currently in bench press gold.
Let's go, Christian.
And that moves us into the second round of bench press. Kicking us off, we have Bridget Paris from Great Britain, jumping 5 kilos for a matched personal best to 62.5.
Yeah, quite comfortable open here. So I can see why they would look for the 5. We'll just see if that pays off.
Again, another comfortable bench press for Bridget. 3 white lights, a good lift.
67.5 for Arlene Smit, Netherlands. Bar is loaded.
67.5 kilos for Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands. 2.5 kilo jump from her opener to extend her personal best.
Let's go, Carlene.
It's hard to say at this moment in time who is and isn't in contention for the podium, because 20 kilos separates 7th and 3rd, which feels like a long way off, but with a few misses and one good day, you never know.
Yeah, after what we saw happen last night with the under 59 kilo juniors, I think it's pretty clear to say that we don't know what will happen. We had 13 misses out of a 14 lifter flight, so
Yeah.
it is pretty volatile. Anything can happen on the day.
Precisely, and you saw Bodie Lecoq end up off of the podium altogether.
Yeah, huge upset there.
So, like you said, anything can happen, and I don't want to say too soon who is and isn't in for a chance. So I'll say there's several lifters still in it. Amy Espinoza Torres, 70 kilos.
She has asked for a little bit more detail here with this handout.
Maybe not quite as happy with the first handout as she thought she'd be. Well, that is a big fight from Amy. Perhaps 5 kilos just being a bit too much of an ambitious jump.
Correct. That's the 5 kilo jump there.
Yeah, and her personal best is 67.5, so right in between the two, and perhaps it would have been worth shooting for that PB on the 3rd.
From Australia, bar is loaded.
The other thing to note here is this pad is different to what's being used in the warm-up room, so it's likely their first time actually touching this pad when they get onto the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the new Eleiko Sky Pad. A lot of lifters enjoying using it. 70 kilos of Elisa Vo from Australia. A 2.5 kilo jump from her opener. This matches her personal best. Very high arch there for Lisa.
Moves just as fast as the opener.
Yeah, very, very comfortable. 2-1, a good lift.
Yes.
Gets a depth call from the centre referee, which is always a worry when a lifter has a high arch.
From Mexico, bar is loaded.
I think she should be okay with that.
I think so. The only thing to worry about here is sometimes when you get a depth call from the head ref, it can alert the side refs to be a little bit more onto it. So we'll see what happens on the 3rd.
Yeah, the centre referee generally in the opposite position to squat has the best, and unfortunately the jury has overruled Vo's. Christy Sims, 70 kilos.
Very comfortable.
Sorry to say, but it's a root previous attempt from both 70 kilos. And now we have Giovanna Palacios from Canada, bar is loaded.
72.5 kilos for Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada. 5 kilo jump. Getting onto her shoulders there, creating some nice tension.
There we go, showing the 5 kilo jump can pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. And bench being maybe arguably the most technical of the 3 lifts, it means a lot can go wrong. So being a technical lifter is a double-edged sword for sure. 2.5 kilo jump for Yara El Haddad from Lebanon to 82.5.
Looking like she might be accepting the bronze medal here.
Yeah, based on the other attempts, she might have actually secured that with her opener.
Sarah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So let's see how this moves for her, again with quite a close grip.
There's that slowdown you were talking about.
Yeah, it does a really good job of pushing through it though, because it's not easy. It's a good lift.
We have 2 attempts with 90 kilos. Luciana comes first.
Yeah, not often you see a grip that close.
No, not in the lightweight women at least. 90 kilos for Elisa Misiano. Same weight again to be taken by Herbo afterwards. Misiano with a lower lot number, so we'll take it first and stay in the gold bench press position. Misiano not just looking at the bench press medals, but overall fighting to get onto the podium ahead of Palacios Toledo. Slow down a little bit, but still really nice bench press. Does get a yellow from one of the side referees, so we'll have a look at that side angle.
Yeah, see if there was some butt lift.
I think she should be okay with that. There's a little bit of a wobble, but I don't think that was a lift.
Yeah, and sometimes you can just get one side of the glutes just lifting, the other side stays down just fine.
Inez Herbeau from France, also taking 90 kilos, an equal jump. And this will move her into bench press gold, ahead of Misiano. Looked good, about the same I'd say as Misiano's, and it is a good lift. No, that does keep Herbeau, as I thought, in silver. It was just a misprint on the screen. Misiano having the lower lot number, so takes the lift first and therefore takes the medal first. We head now into the third round of bench press. Misiano leading on lot number actually, ahead of Herbeau and Hel Haddad.
Yeah, Misiano gets to get the medal first, but it does mean that with Herbeau getting the higher lot number, she gets to decide if she wants to jump ahead of that and take it back. So double-edged sword.
It's yours.
Bridget Paris from Great Britain, 65 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump, which I think should be more than comfortable.
Yeah, she's been looking good today on bench.
And I think the absolutely perfect call there.
Yeah, very well done there from the team at the ball.
Does get a yellow from the side referee, so again, we'll just have a look at that side angle. Usually that indicates there's some lifting of the glutes. Again,
Did see some daylight there.
Yeah, I did. I'm not sure if it lifted completely or if it was just a wobble. The jury will look at it, but I think they're happy that it's a good lift. Amy Espinoza Torres retaking 70 kilos. Took that 5 kilo jump, seemed to be a little bit too much for her second. Has a little bit more time now, so maybe can come back and get it on her third.
Wow, that was a big change.
Yeah, a completely different bench press. And this is what I mean with technical lifters. One or two things can be out of position and it can completely change your lift. And this is a great example of that.
Yeah, it really justifies that 5 kilo jump that they took.
Of course, in a flight of 7, it perhaps is moving a little quicker than some lifters are used to. 70 kilos for Carleen Schmid, a 2.5 kilo jump from her second.
Yep, another close grip bench presser here, so we'll see if we do get a little bit of that slowdown that we saw from El Haddad.
as you said, slowed down at the top, but it is her third attempt, so the important thing is that she gets it.
Yeah, never looked in doubt. Slow, but very smooth.
Slowly for Lisa from Australia. Okay, Lisa, let's do this.
70 kilos now for Lisa Vo from Australia.
Openers for the group.
I believe got her overruled for
Yeah, bench
lifting.
depth here.
Over bench depth, of course, yes.
Yes. So we'll see if she can just sink a little bit deeper here.
Both side referees were happy with it on her second, but the jury overruled it. It was very, very close. She just needs to get it a little bit lower. And her arch looked lower on that one, so I'm hoping that would help.
There we go, 3 whites. No arguing.
Yeah, good lift for Vo there. We'll have a look at that on the replay again. You can see her ribs slightly lower than it was in the second, allowing the bar to travel a little bit further down.
Yeah, slightly heavier touch as well, just letting it sink in a little bit.
72.5 kilos for Christy Sim from Mexico. Yeah, perfect third attempt there for Sim.
Great fight.
Just 4 bench presses remaining before we head through to the 57 kilo B group. First up we have Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, taking 77.5 kilos. A 5 kilo jump again to her third.
And all of her attempts have moved quite quickly here, so we'll see if this 5 kilo jump does pay off.
She's in a really good position to nab that podium position overall. A little bit slow off the chest, but manages to lock it out.
Very good. +5, seem to be the move.
Yeah, and she is building slowly and surely, trying to sneak up and take that podium position, leaving her just a little ahead of Misiano currently. Yara El Haddad from Lebanon takes 85 kilos, already has bench press bronze, so will keep her 2.5 kilos ahead of where she would be, and 10 kilos ahead of her bow, should they both make their final bench press. Wow, it's slowing down, but it's not stopping.
Oh,
Look at that grind. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah. Wow. 2 to 1, a good lift. She gets it with 1 red, blue for
bit of
downwards
bar dip, I
movement.
assume? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at the jury and they are reviewing it. We'll keep our eye there, but for now, Elisa Miziano from Italy to stay in bench press gold for the time being. Her bow has put in for that heavier bench press, as you said she could, by going second. The 92.5 will be good enough for at very least the silver, but for the time being, if she gets it, for gold. That's a big effort, but unfortunately just too heavy today.
There we go. And this is the danger of playing that lot number advantage. She's now jumped 5. And if she misses, she also ends up missing out on that gold.
Yeah, there are advantages from both sides. Obviously being able to take it if you have the same weight on the bar, but being able to see what weight gets put on the bar and done. Inez Herbeau has made that 5 kilo jump to move her from bench press silver into gold and stay just 10 kilos behind her dad heading into deadlifts. Second did look good. Let's see if it was good enough for another 5 kilos.
Yeah, she does look strong today.
Yeah, fantastic effort there.
And the refs, there you go, bench press gold.
3 white lights, a good lift, and it puts in a great position to not now defend silver, but actually fight for gold heading into deadlifts.
Yeah, only 10 kilos behind. El Haddad does have the bigger deadlift, but anything can happen.
Yeah, and France are cheeky sometimes. They do often put in a false opener, so we'll have to wait and see. And a quick summary before we head through to the 57B group. In bench press bronze with 85 kilos, Yara El Haddad from Lebanon. In bench press silver with 90 kilos, Elisa Miziano from Italy. And in bench press gold with 95 kilos, Inez Hebot from France. We head now into the 57B group for bench press. And first out we have Yu Ning Yi from Singapore with 52.5 kilos.
Great speed, looking just like an opener should. She did have some good grinds on her squat attempts, so it's nice to see this bar moving really quickly here for bench press.
Bars loaded.
55 kilos for Elise Lombardo from Malta, opening just 1 kilo below her bench press PB, which I imagine is a Maltese national record. Very well controlled. Ooh, unfortunately 2-1 in no lift. I imagine her glutes must have not been down on the bench. We'll have a look at that in the replay.
Yeah, she's also been pulled up for her hair as well.
Yeah, so on those 2 notes, we can see the glutes lifted as soon as she pulled tension into her body, but also you have to have your hair up if you have long hair, as a boy or a girl, to bench, so you can see if your head is lifting off of the bench, which is not allowed. That would also be a yellow card. Van der Dame from Hungary, 62.5 kilos. Comfortable looking opener for Vanda. Yeah, and again, another lifter getting called up for yellow. So let's have a look at that side angle, David.
Good job. Bars loaded for Daisy Brooks from Australia.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Now it's to see whether the jury also saw that. They are looking and talking about it. Yeah, and unfortunately have overruled it. So we'll have to see her try again on her second. But for now, Daisy Brooks from Australia, 62.5 kilos. If I remember correctly, competed at Bench Worlds.
Yes, correct. So she only got her opener and I think failed her second and third based on bench depth. So
I see, okay.
we'll see how she goes today. She has been making some efforts to fix that.
Looks okay from this angle. Let's see what the referees think.
There we go.
3 white lights, and she's definitely happy to see those.
There you go, the changes have paid off.
Yeah, perfect depth actually there. 67.5 kilos for Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica. Opening on 67.5. It says here her bench press PB is 25, so if that's true, a 42.5 kilo personal best for Maria.
They can't be mad with that.
No, absolutely not. And I'm hoping it moves better than a 42.5 kilo PB. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal opener. A good lift.
70 kilos for Andrea Wanty, Canada, box loaded.
Andrea Van Dyke from Canada, 70 kilos.
Very nice bench press.
Yeah, quite a heavy touch. It's quite interesting. You don't see that often with the lighter weight classes.
Yeah, let's see if she's doing it for some elbow depth or just because she likes it.
I think it would be for elbow depth because she just gets it in, I think, on parallel. Or, who knows, maybe she likes it. Ronja Ruti from Finland, 72.5 kilos. Finnish lifters normally renowned for being good bench pressers.
Looking quite nice with the all blue here.
Yeah, Finnish singlet is a lovely SPD singlet. It moves well. Let's wait for the lights. 3 white lights, a good lift.
80 kilos for Natalia Maha from Ukraine.
Yeah, good elbow depth there. Sometimes I worry with the lifters with the higher arches that they don't reach it, but they've managed to make some changes and managed to reach it now. Natalia Maha from Ukraine didn't manage to get a squat in on the board, unfortunately, but is continuing to lift, which is great to see. Can fight for individual medals, but not medals overall.
Yeah, see if she can get some redemption here.
Opening again, 2.5 kilos below her best, so I hope it's easier than her squat.
There we go.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Very nice to see.
Yeah, and it is important to continue lifting. You've come all this way, and also the experience you get on an international platform is invaluable.
Yeah, Worlds only happens once a year, so it is a really good practice, really good experience.
Our penultimate opening attempt now, Tyra Rowland from New Zealand, 82.5 kilos.
Very impressive young lifter.
Looks comfortable. 3 white lights, a good lift. On track to get a 400 kilo plus total.
85 kilos opener. Slowly.
No worries with elbow depth either.
85 kilos for Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain. Opening 2.5 kilos below her personal best.
Wow, that was excellent.
Yeah, really good flare there to get that elbow depth. 3 white lights, a good lift. Have a look at that again in the replay.
Yeah, comes first. 55 kilos.
Yeah, lovely bench press. And that concludes our opening attempts. All bar 2 lifters, Lombardo and Deme, with their bench on the board. Didn't really see any strength issues, so hopefully something that they can change for their second attempt. Yu Ning Yi from Singapore jumps 2.5 kilos to 55. Looks good. Got a very quick press command there.
It's a good lift.
3 white lights. So a lifter gets the press command when the center referee is happy that the bar is stationary on their chest.
Slowly.
So that could be instantly, that could be after 3 seconds. It really depends when they stabilize it.
Yeah, so typically you get rewarded for having a really nice controlled descent. It makes that bar motionless a little bit quicker.
Yeah, also why a lot of lifters, especially lighter lifters, opt for a soft touch on their chest. Elise Lombardo from Malta opted to go up 2.5 kilos to 57.5, not with a bench on the board, which is a risky move, especially as a lighter lifter. What do you think of that?
We'll see if it pays off. I typically wouldn't recommend it, especially in this situation where we have seen someone bomb already.
It's yours.
But who knows what her training's been like. She does hold the Maltese record by the looks of it, so we'll see.
She just needs to keep her glutes down. Reach elbow depth.
The press looked easy enough. Let's see what the judges say.
Yeah, it seems like she still gets a yellow from the side referee, so we'll have a look at that again in the replay. Yeah, unfortunately exactly the same issue. As soon as she braces, her glutes lift up off the bench.
Let's go, Wanda.
We just had the safeties on the wrong height here.
And I think that distraction from the jury has actually saved Lombardo from getting that lift overturned.
Definitely a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe she put down the safety in order to distract them. Vanda Deme from Hungary now in a similar situation, 62.5 kilos, retaking it.
Up. Come on.
Big fight, just not quite there.
Yeah, and it wasn't a strength issue the first time round, so that's very worrying to see.
Yeah, it did look different with the touch point and the way her elbows moved, so I might have just tried to change her technique here.
Tracy Brooks from Australia.
That's the trouble with trying to change it on the day. Even if you have to, it's not how you've trained, it's not how you're used to benching, especially at top end.
Yeah, I haven't built the strength there, so it will be very different.
Daisy Brooks from Australia now, 65 kilos, a 2.5 kilo jump. The 62 was very comfortable, got all white lights, which I know she was happy to see.
Yeah, I think she'll do the same here. Excellent.
Yeah, just as fast as her opener and a good lift,
There
3
we
white
go.
lights.
Second attempt's made. This is the good thing, like we talked about before, going to an international competition and getting some experience is excellent. So she did have some experience with bench press only worlds earlier this year. So got some feedback by missing her second and third attempts there, made the relevant changes and cleaned it up for this comp.
Yeah, and it's a hard lesson to learn, but Daisy is a great example, like you said, of taking up the chin and just improving. Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica jumps 5 kilos to 72.5. Three white lights, a good lift.
Personal best. Congratulations. And one from Canada.
Just a reminder, we will see the bench press ranking jump around, but we have the 57 kilo A group this evening, so that is subject to change. Andrea Van Dyke from Canada, 75 kilos, a 5 kilo jump from her opener.
Did put up a massive grind on her squats earlier, so we'll see if her bench is anything like that.
Yeah, actually came back from missing it on what seemed like strength in the second, and we thought she was out of juice, but managed to push through. Didn't need the grind this time round.
we'll see what happens on her third.
"75 kilos for Ronja Ruti from Finland for a new personal best. Getting those red plates on the bar, a big milestone.
Let's go, Ronja. Personal best attempt. Come on.
Big arch here. She didn't have any issues with elbow depth on the previous attempt, so we'll see if anything changes with this.
A little bit harder, but still manages to get it up. And a good lift, 3 white lights.
No issues with depth on this one.
You have Tyra, Rowan for New Zealand. Mara Slovenia. 85 kilos.
3 benches remaining before we head through to the third and final round. Tyra Rowland from New Zealand, 85 kilo bar.
Quite a smooth opener, so I imagine this will be much the same.
Oh, there's a great second attempt. Not too much left in the tank, I think near her top end, but
Yep, I agree. Almost looked like there was potentially some bar dip going on there, but I think it did just sort of stop for a second before heading back up.
yeah, which is absolutely allowed. Yeah, she did a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good job of not letting it dip, actually.
Yep, so we'll see if we can clean up that little dip there, and maybe she is good for another 2.5.
85 kilos for Natalia Maha from Ukraine.
That was very easy, and referee says it's a good
Very comfortable second attempt from Natalia. A good lift.
There we go, good turnaround after squats.
90 kilos for Paula Alonso from Spain. Bar is loaded. Also a personal best. Bravo, Paula.
Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain jumps 5 kilos to 90 for her second attempt for a new 2.5 kilo personal best.
There we go, 2 white lights, and she's stoked with that.
Yeah, getting a PB on your second means only one thing, is maybe getting another one on your third.
Yeah, it looks like there might be another 2.5 left in that.
Very technically efficient lifter. That concludes our second round. We head into the third round of bench press here with Ulbar Deme managing to get a bench on the board. Has one last shot of it here on her third. Yu Ning Yi from Singapore, 57.5 kilos.
So this will be a 2.5 kilo PB if she is successful with this.
Just a bit too heavy today. But I'm sure that bodyweight bench will be there very soon.
Yeah, she's not far off.
Lombardo from Malta comes next. The bar is loaded. Personal best attempt for Elise.
$60 kilos for Elise Lombardo from Malta. Didn't get her opener on 55, jumped to 2.5 and got it despite some issues with the glutes. So hopefully she can keep her glutes down this time. Not sure she'll get so lucky again.
Let's go, Elise. Come on, personal best.
This will be for a new personal best as well. Yeah, a lovely third attempt. And again, a yellow
There
from
we
the
go,
far
2 to
side
1.
referee. Yeah, it's the same side she had last time, so we'll have a look at that angle. Wondering if it's when she, takes tension out the bar.
Let's go, Wanda. Come on, keep working your support.
Seems like it will stay as a good lift. Van der Demme now from Hungary, 62.5 kilos. Missed it on her opener due to, I believe, lifting of the glutes. Missed it on her second, what seemed like a strength issue.
Yep, might have been a change of technique, so we'll see what she does here on the third.
Oh, and look at that, a completely different lift.
There we go.
2 to 1, a good lift. Have a look at that replay. Does get a yellow from the side referee.
We'll hold out for the jury.
I think she should be
Yeah,
okay
looked
with
like it
that.
stayed down on the far side there, maybe. Doesn't look like the jury's going to touch that.
So she is on the board. 67.5 kilos for Daisy Brooks from Australia. Six white lights so far on her bench. Let's see if she can get 3 more to complete the set.
Let's go, Daisy.
Looked like an opener.
Yeah, that was very comfortable. Again, 9 white lights now. Great job from Daisy there.
Yeah, good comeback.
Like you said, could have been an opener. 77.5 kilos for Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica. 5 kilo jump for a new personal best. Just a little bit too much there, taking another 5 kilo jump.
Looking comes next bar. Slowly. 77.5 kilos. Another personal best attempt for Maria. Ani, let's go.
Ronja Ruti from Finland takes 77.5 kilos for a third attempt for a new personal best.
Very technically efficient bench here.
Let's go, Ronja.
Oh, a great fight from Ronja. Look at that.
Wow. Yeah, 3 white lights.
3 white lights, yeah. And bench is not an easy lift to grind through.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Take a look at this. Bar even almost stopped and started again.
That is very impressive.
Andrea Van Dyck from Canada, 80 kilos, another 5 kilo jump. And we know she can grind on squat. Can she grind on bench?
I think we're going to find out.
Let's go, come on. You can do it.
It's an aggressive jump. Unfortunately, a bit too much of an aggressive jump. The second was quite hard, and like I said before, bench press is the hardest really to grind through, and typically you don't see what we just saw with Ruti. You know, lifters aren't usually that good at grinding through bench presses. Tyra Rowland from New Zealand, 87.5.
Yep, speaking of, I think we might see another grind here. Her second did slow down.
Opting to take the smallest jump possible, which I think is the right decision here to match her personal best. New Zealand is a long way away. She's travelled far. Another fantastic third attempt there from Roland.
That's unreal. That was almost better than her second.
Yeah, it was definitely slow, but like you said, it was smooth.
Yeah, she didn't quite have that stop-start like she did on her second. There we go. No up, down. Great lift.
Our penultimate final attempt belongs to Natalia Maha from Ukraine. After a tumultuous squat session, having a much better time on bench, 90 kilos on the bar for a new personal best. Move her into bench press gold for the time being, but remembering that there is an A group this evening. Another fantastic
There you go.
grind
3
there.
from 3. Good turnaround.
Yeah, very different story to squats, and I'm glad to see them making some smarter decisions here on bench.
Yep, there we go. We'll see if Spain can reclaim the current bench gold.
Yeah, Paula Alonso Vasquez jumping to 92.5 to move back into bench press gold for the time being with the A group tonight at 7 p.m. local time. Very snappy hand out to herself there.
There we go.
Wow. Honestly, could have been her second. It was so good. And there,
She can't believe it.
yeah, I mean, she was already in shock that her second went up, but I think she has to have a little bit more faith in herself.
Yeah.
Fantastic third attempt there. Before we head into a 10-minute break, I will tell you where we stand with bench press currently. In bronze, Roland from New Zealand. In silver, Maha from Ukraine. And in gold, just as surprised, or more surprised than us, I think we believed her more than she did, Alonso Vasquez from Spain. Subject to change later when we see the rest of the 57s, but we will head into a 10-minute break now. Before deadlifts, we will see them. Hello and welcome back to the 2024 IPF World Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championships here in St. Paul's Bay, Malta. We have for you the 52 kilo and 57 kilo juniors, the 52 kilo A and B group, and the 57 kilo B group. Just a reminder, we are consisted of 3 flights. The first flight will be the 52Bs, followed by the 52A group. And the third flight will be consisting of the 57B group. Natalie Alves from Brazil, 112.5 kilos. Your accent seems contagious there, David.
Yeah, apologies for that. She seems very happy with that opener.
And that secures her total. And breathe a sigh of relief once you know your total is safe. Sarah McCormack from Ireland, 125 kilos.
Very easy opening attempt here. Her PB I think was 147, so quite far away from that. We might see a big jump coming in.
Yeah, it's well worth opening with something quite safe and conservative to secure that total. Hinano Miura from Japan, 132.5 kilos. Quite the opposite to McCormack, opening 2.5 kilos below her personal best. Very comfortable opening there for Hinano.
Definitely not her PB anymore.
No, absolutely not. A good lift.
Low comes first, followed by Alvarez.
Opposed to bench, deadlifts usually run a lot quicker. A lot less of a setup for most lifters.
And only 6 people in this flight, so it is going to be very, very fast and not too much rest for these lifters.
Not usually as much of a problem for the lighter weight women, but if that was, for example, the heavyweight men, that is a bit more of an issue.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
Glynis Lowe from Singapore, 135 kilos.
Singlet matching the plates here.
Like she planned it. Opening 2.5 kilos below her personal best. Not too sure what happened there. Let's have a look at that on the replay. I think I get quite complacent sometimes assuming openers are going to be pretty easy because they usually should be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She even looked confused.
Yeah, the bar was definitely loaded with the right weight, so we'll have to see what happens there in her second. Lucia Alvarez Belmont here with the same weight, moving very differently.
There we go, very fast opener.
She is amped up. High energy from Alvarez there. 140 kilos for Long Ki Tse from Hong Kong, and I wouldn't be surprised if she walked away with a deadlift medal.
Yeah, very big opening attempt here.
Of course, we have the following group to follow, and actually having seen the openers from that group, perhaps not, but we'll see how this moves and the jumps that she makes. Wow.
Yeah, very easy opener.
Good lift.
I thought it would be quite easy. I didn't think it'd be quite that easy.
Let's see, maybe her top end does fall off quite quickly.
Yeah, we'll have to see the kind of jumps they make here.
That's 5
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but we'll see.
attempt.
And that concludes our opening attempts already, with all bar one lifter, Glynis Lowe, having a deadlift on the board and securing their total. Say leads, followed by Alvarez and Mura. But, of course, we have the A group to follow. Heading into second attempts, Natalie Alves will take 117.5 kilos.
And this will be a 5 kilo PB as well, so no wonder she was quite happy on that opener.
Vamos. Vamos, chica.
Still moving really nicely.
Yeah, all smiles.
Easy. A new personal best. Congratulations. Firma to Ireland on the 37. So they go low, following Firma. Nice loading.
There it is, a big 10 kilo jump.
Yeah, as expected, her top end, or deadlift PB rather, is 147.5. So 135 here for her second. It's a big jump, but doesn't seem unreasonable.
And it's a good.
And that is a good lift.
We have low from Singapore, same weight. Bar is loaded. Lane is slow. Singapore. On in, Katie's. Let's go.
Now, it's not been too much time since her first attempt at this, and it seemed like a strength issue, but she is a sumo puller, so it can be a positional thing. We'll have to wait and see, but she didn't budge 135 from the ground the first time. It's only 2.5 kilos below her personal best, so let's see if she can move it today.
Up, 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 up.
And that is really, really concerning.
Yeah, very confusing.
Sorry, no win.
She looks just as confused as we do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's in pain. I'm not sure what's going on.
See, we had a similar situation with one of the 57s, Maha, who opened 2.5 kilos below her personal best in squat and didn't manage to get it. So I'm just wondering what would have happened in warm-ups to not change that.
Personal best attempt for
Hinanu Miura now from Japan, 142.5 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener.
Apply.
So a very comfortable opener here.
Yeah, 10 kilos didn't slow her down too much whatsoever.
Now we'll see if they look for another 10.
A lot of countries have different styles in handling and coaching and the jumps that they make. You know, so it's interesting to see the strategies come through here. Lucia Alvarez, 142.5. Looks good. She was very hyped up after her opener.
Yeah, just as fast as the opener too.
147.5 kilos for long check from Hong Kong.
Already through to our final second attempt. We are flying through these deadlifts. We have Long Kyu Tsek from Hong Kong, jumping 7.5 kilos, which feels quite conservative based off her opener, but like you said, it can drop off quite quickly.
Yeah, we'll find out if that's true here.
Imagine if this moves well, it will be big smiles for Say. Yeah, that was unexpected. Again, the weight moved fine, but just a grip issue there.
Yeah, it looked like it was mostly grip. And no conventional pullers, maybe just a little bit of talc just moved on to that part of the knurling.
Yeah, just that underhand, the bar slipping out of. Heading into third round of deadlifts now. Alvarez leading, of course, with the 52 A group to follow. Low still without a deadlift on the board, and I have to say it's not looking too great for her considering she's not been able to budge the weight yet. Has one last attempt at it, but first Natalie Alves from Brazil, 125 kilos.
Lots of support from the Brazilians in the crowd. There we go, great finish.
Another personal best. Congratulations. And okay, people, I hope you have the same spirit for the next attempt for Billy Slow from Singapore.
Yeah, we'll see the crowd get behind her here because she really needs to make this lift in order to register a total.
Yeah, and it's such a shame to lose out on that total on deadlifts right at the end of the day. 135 kilos for Glynis Lowe of Singapore. She needs this to secure that total, otherwise she cannot post the total she's worked so hard for so far.
You can do it.
Calms herself before trying one more time. Unfortunately, moves it a little bit further, but not far enough.
It definitely looks like she's in some kind of pain. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, limping off the platform there. We wish her the best, but today is not her day. And hopefully she can take this experience back with her, as well as perhaps the Singapore coaches as well. Sarah McCormack from Ireland now taking a 5 kilo jump to 140 for her third and final attempt.
Last one was a slight bit of stick at lockout, but nothing to scare us from a 5 kilo jump. I think her belt's undone, is it? Yeah, yep.
Oh, she remembered, she heard you. That is
There we go.
fantastic, that attempt, a good lift.
Yeah, lots left in that.
We actually had a lifter last night who came out for his third attempt on squat and got to the bottom of the hole and then realised he didn't have his belt. So probably not the best time to remember. Long Ki Se from Hong Kong, 147.5 kilos. She got it to lock out on her second, but just lost grip. So let's see if she can get this now on her third, saying thank you to all the spotters and loaders every time she comes out onto the platform.
Yeah, the opener was really convincing, so I think she should be good for this 147, provided she can hold on.
Yeah, to put into perspective, I thought 7.5 kilos was a small jump considering how the 140 moved, so it just goes to show.
Oh, there we go. That was similar to the opener.
Yeah, and that's more than what I expected with the 147. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah, she does lose out on a couple kilos there, but she does bolster the total up another 7.5 here, so she's opted to play it safe.
Two deadlifts remaining before we head through to the 52 kilo A group. Hinano Miura from Japan, 150 kilos, getting hyped up for her final attempt. 7.5 kilo jump for a big new personal best on deadlift and on total. knocks it out. 3 white lights, a good lift, and a great end to a day for her.
New personal best both on total and deadlift. Very cool competition for Miura.
Yeah, she's stoked with that.
Nice to see happy lifters. Lucia Alvarez from Spain comes next, 50 kilos for her.
Our heaviest deadlift joint with Miura here. Lucia Alvarez Belmont from Spain, 150 kilos.
Both other attempts moving very fast, so we'll see if this slows down. Not really.
No, none whatsoever. A fantastic end to the day. And that is a good lift. Don't go anywhere. We head straight into the A group now, where we will find out who walks away world champion. Who walks away in second and third. Won't have to wait too long to find out. We get the bar loaded now for Elisa Miziano, who did up her opener by 10 kilos.
15, I think? 120? Oh no, I'm thinking of France. Sorry.
Yeah, looks
Her
like.
bow went from 120 to 145, I think.
Yeah, we've had some jump abouts here. 3 lifters changing their openers. Elisa Miziano will open with 135, which has gone up by 10 to 15 kilos, and she comes out for it now. This will move her to a great position for bronze overall. Close enough to push for silver. And if El Haddad misses, even to fight her bow and El Haddad for gold.
Yeah, plenty of room in that.
Yeah, it feels like that was Italy's plan the whole time. I very much doubt she would have opened any lighter than that. And that puts the pressure on. Also makes 3 or 4 lifters float away a bit more from the group than they had before in that fight for podium. Christy Sim just a little off the mark currently for that podium fight, 135 kilos. A little issue at lockout there, but I think she should be okay.
Yeah, there we go, 1 red light.
Yeah, and that red light is for insufficient lockout. We'll have a look at that on the replay.
Yeah, we'll see if it's hips or shoulders.
Just needs to make sure her shoulders are fully locked back. She'll be okay with that though. Lisa Vo from Australia, 137.5 kilos. Very easy opener there.
Amy Espinosa, Costa Rica, opens up with 140 kilos. Bar is loaded.
Amy Espinosa Torres from Costa Rica, 140 kilos for her opening deadlift.
I think she might want to be, might be one of our first conventional deadlifters.
She makes it look good. 3 white lights. Yeah, so as David just said, conventional is, if you're newer to the sport, where their feet are closer together and their hands are on the outside of their legs to pull, as you can see here. Sumo, which we've seen a lot more of, is with a wider leg stance and their hands are in the inside of their legs. I'm sure we won't have to wait long to see what a sumo looks like. Inez Herbeau from France, 145 kilos for her opener. Still 10 kilos behind El Haddad on total. Miziano creeping up behind as well. So every kilo counts here on deadlifts. Let's see how the opener moves. Three white lights, a good lift. Actually, a bit of an in-between stance there.
Yeah, a little bit of a frog.
Yeah. Bridget Paris now for Great Britain, 150 kilos. Yeah, and just like her openers on squat and bench, very easy.
Yeah, she's having a fantastic day today.
I think quite new to the international lifting scene as well, so staying this calm and collected and lifting that well is really impressive. Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands, opening on 150 kilos.
Yeah, we saw her longer arms on the bench press, so we're going to see what this looks like when she comes time to deadlift.
Yeah, very nice looking opener.
Yeah, putting those arms to use.
Yeah, she manages to get in a really nice position there. This, of course, being a bit more of a typical sumo. Patience off the ground, snappy at lockout. Where you'll see the opposite of conventional, where you have to be a little more patient at lockout, a bit quicker off the ground. Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, 155 kilos. She's putting the pressure on Miziano for that bronze medal. And it's still in contention for that silver medal if it goes well. Two to one, a good lift. I was a little bit worried about that lockout.
Yeah, me too. We'll see if the jury wants to take a look at it.
Yeah, gripping the bar that narrowly usually makes it quite hard to lock the shoulders out, but jury seem happy with it. Our heaviest open now, Yara El Haddad from Lebanon, 160 kilos. That looks good, just 23.5 kilos below the World Junior Deadlift record.
Yeah, a little bit slow off the floor, but she held position well and got rewarded with a really nice, clean lockout.
And that concludes our opening attempts with all 9 lifters managing to get a deadlift and securing their total. And now is when they're going to really start pushing each other for those podium positions.
Yeah, 10 kilos between first and fourth here, so anything can happen.
Elisa Miziano, one of the dangers for podium, 140 kilos. Not looking for any crazy jumps, looking to collect the kilos.
Another very smooth attempt.
Yeah, and I know I say it a lot, but I really do think that was smoother than her opening deadlift.
Yeah, might have just felt her position, got used to the weight, less nerves, who knows.
$142.5 kilos for Lisa Vo from Australia. A little bit sticky at lockout, but manages to lock it out. A good lift.
Comes next. Slowly. Sim from Mexico.
$142.5 kilos for Christy Sim from Mexico.
So she did get 1 red for being soft at lockout on her last attempt, and she seems to have fixed that.
Costa Rica, 150 kilo. In the second attempt. Bars loaded.
Bar is loaded for Amy Espinoza Torres for Costa Rica with 150 kilos.
Yeah, really smooth conventional pull here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the 10 kilo jump looks like.
Conventional, of course, also being a little bit easier to grind than sumo.
Yeah, we'll see if we get to showcase that today.
Yeah, still moving nice and smoothly with an extra 10 kilos in the bar.
Yeah, she could look for another 10 here and be right up with some of the bigger deadlifters of the flight.
Lots of similar numbers being taken, so I think the fight for deadlift gold is going to be tight, but I imagine the few lifters going for deadlift gold are not going to be focusing on it. They'll be looking at that podium position. 150 kilos for Inez Herbeau from France. This moves her back into silver overall from bronze. Oh, a wobble at the top there, which really throws a spanner in the works, as there is that tight fight for podium at the top.
Yeah, this definitely opens the door.
Yeah, and that will aid Palacios Toledo in pushing for that bronze position, and Miziano for that silver. We'll see how it turns out. For now, Bridget Paris from Great Britain, 162.5 kilos, a 12.5 kilo jump for a 10 kilo PB.
Let's go, Brits. Come on. Up. Good lift.
Is a good lift.
Schmidt comes next. Say wait. There is now 4 ladies after this. Deadlift medals.
Carleen Schmid there from the Netherlands, also jumping 12.5 kilos to 162.5. Be for a 2.5 kilo PB.
Has a beautiful sumo deadlift position. Big jump, so let's see what happens.
Moves on to deadlift gold for the time being. Oh, really struggled to lock out.
Are they going to call the shoulders? No, they're not.
3 white lights. Yeah, she got the down command just in time. Moved into deadlift gold, but the question is, how much more can she add on to that before her grip lets go? A lot of lifters, like I said, taking similar weights, so it'll be interesting to see if she ends up on the podium for deadlift or not. Giovanna Palacios Toledo from Canada, 165, and this moves her onto the podium overall heading into third attempts.
Yeah, lighter than Herbeau from France by 150 grams.
Let's go, girl.
Did she get the down command? She did. 3 white lights, and I think just in time as well.
Comes behind with same weight, but she's heavier. Car is loaded.
Our final second attempt, and our current leader, Yara El Haddad from Lebanon, 165 kilos.
She's going to try and extend her lead here.
If this moves well, she'll be quite hard to catch, but not impossible. And it wasn't the easiest in the world, so I think the door is still open.
Yeah, she does get the final say, but whether or not she gets to hit it is a different story.
Yeah, and she is the heaviest of the four shooting for podium.
I imagine Missiano is going to go for an attempt change here. Jump the 7.
Yeah, and heading into third attempts, we can see Palacios Toledo leading the deadlifts, followed by Haddad and Schmid. But overall, we're going to be looking, as you can see, Al Haddad leading, followed by Missiano, Palacio, Toledo and Herbo joint, but much can happen in these third attempts where they're really pushing themselves for those totals. Missiano now 145 kilos, the lightest deadlifter of them all, so doesn't have that final say, can just do what she can here, and she does.
Yeah, looks like a great call there with the +5. There we go, 3 white lights.
And that puts her in silver for the time being, of
Yep.
course, with Palacio, Toledo and Herbo to follow.
Yeah, being a smaller deadlifter or starting the flight means you do have to play a little bit more conservatively. You don't have the final say, so probably opting for the more conservative and safer choice here with the +5.
Yeah, a bit of what powerlifters like to say a subtotal specialist, where she comes in from squat and bench with a really high subtotal, and it drops a little bit due to the deadlift being a bit lighter. Lisa Vo from Australia, 145 kilos for her third and final attempt.
Just not today.
Doesn't lose too much out by jumping 2.5. However, she got everything she could from the day.
47.5 kilos.
So by the looks of things, it doesn't seem anyone's chasing El Haddad. They're all looking for that silver or bronze position.
Yeah, I think so. It's a big jump, +15 for both Palacio and Herbo.
Yeah,
That
so
threw a little out of reach.
she should be safe there. For now, we have Christy Sim, 147.5. Slow to lock out, but I think she managed to do so.
Here we go. 1 red back for the soft lockout, I believe. And I don't think the jury's going to touch that.
Strong end to the day there.
Oh, but she's not putting it up, it looks like.
So we have Inez Herbo for France. I think she did put it up, and then when she saw what she needed for bronze versus silver, she decided to push for the bronze.
Yeah, again playing it safe here.
This will move her from 4th into 3rd overall.
Yeah, really put the pressure on Toledo from Canada. There we go.
Yeah, avoided losing balance at the top this time, and it is a
3 whites, there
good
we go.
lift. Yeah. So now she's done what she can. All she can do is wait to see what Palacios Toledo does. Of course, if Palacios Toledo gets her third attempt, it will knock off Herbo. Not quite yet there yet, though. We have Amy Espinoza Torres from Costa Rica, 155 kilos.
A more modest 5 kilo jump after a 10 kilo jump from the opener. Our only conventional puller of the flight, I believe.
I think so. This is for a deadlift and total personal best. Not quite there, unfortunately. I was about to say, now there's that grind we spoke about for conventional.
Yeah, took the words out of my mouth. Here we go, huge pull here.
With this attempt, he would go into first place on deadlift competition, with the first to follow. This is also her
We've
first
seen an attempt change come in from El Haddad Yara, who has dropped to 167.5 just in the nick of time as they were about to load the bar fully. once the bar is loaded, you cannot drop the weight from it.
So yeah, it looks like she's noticed that no one else is trying to chase her. She's just going to push it an extra 2.5 kilos, lock in her total, and see if anyone's game enough to try and load more.
Yeah, like you said, it would mean Palacios Toledo would have to jump to 182.5, and I just don't think her missing out on podium is worth the risk.
No, and judging how hard her second was, or yeah, her second attempt, I don't think there's that much left there anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah, already your 52 kilo junior world champion, it seems, to move her into deadlift gold. Yara El Haddad finishes the day off strong with a 397.5 kilo total, and we have seen an attempt change come in from the Netherlands, I think, dropping to 167.5 to go for deadlift gold.
Yeah, just weighing 200 grams less than El Haddad, so looking for that gold and hoping that Canada misses here.
Yeah, like we said, different athletes are here for different goals, and Schmid is too far to catch up to the podium, but she definitely can snag a deadlift medal. If she gets this, she secures at least bronze. Carleen Schmid from the Netherlands now already has deadlift bronze. This is to move her into gold with 167.5, lighter than El Haddad.
Go on, strong now. It's yours.
Oh, there we go.
Perfectly cool third attempt there, I think, for Schmid, and
Yeah,
a
great
good
drop.
lift.
Excellent.
Moves into deadlift gold.
Congratulations. Yes, the big deadlift competition. Now we have Richard Paris, 170 kilos. And this is also
Now, I think our next lifter snuck up a little bit on the other athletes fighting for a deadlift medal. Bridget Paris from Great Britain jumped 7.5 kilos to 170 for a huge personal best on deadlift and on total, and to step onto the deadlift medal podium for the first time into gold, with only Palacios Toledo to follow.
you got the ball. Let's go.
She gets it moving. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
And she's done it.
3 white lights, moves into deadlift gold, and at the very least will walk away with silver.
Yeah, she's had an incredible day.
I believe that's 9 for 9 for Paris.
I think so. Great attempt selection from Team GB.
Silver medal attempt on total.
And our final deadlift attempt, and it is a big one. Giovanna Palacios Toledo. This is not only to move her off the podium from deadlift into gold, but also, if she gets this, she goes into silver overall. If she misses it, she is off the podium completely. All or nothing for Canada.
These are my favorite moments.
Come on, girl.
Do or die. On the podium or off the podium.
Oh, let's go.
I'm sure we're going to see a crazy celebration here if things go well.
And she manages to get it moving. Oh,
Oh,
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
Loses grip with style, but not there today. And she loses nothing by trying. And that concludes the 52 kilo juniors. We will head through to the 57B group shortly, but it's well worth summarizing what just happened. So Inez Herbeau ended up getting that bronze position, a fight all the way through with 385, only 2.5 kilos ahead. Elisa Miziano in silver overall from Italy, and 10 kilos ahead of her with 397.5 kilos. After a phenomenal day of lifting, Lebanon's Yara El Haddad is your 52 kilo junior world champion. We head through to the 57 kilo B group now. We'll see the girls fight for their totals, see where they stack up against the A group who will lift tonight. First up we have Elise Lombardo from Malta, 115 kilos. little wobble at the top, but manages to lock it out.
Yep, judges see nothing wrong with it.
Dana comes next. 125.
Yeah, bar didn't dip.
Bar is loaded.
Shoulders didn't unlock, so all good.
Vanda
Vanda Deme from
Hungary.
Hungary, 125 kilos.
Nice smooth opener.
And it's a good
And
day.
rewarded with 3 white lights.
Natalia Mama from Ukraine. 130 kilos. Bar is loaded.
130 kilos for Natalia Maha from Ukraine, opening 37.5 kilos below her personal best. Perhaps dealing with some sort of injury, or that could be her numbers from equipped in a deadlift suit, but it is a good lift nonetheless.
Bar is loaded.
And I believe, like you touched on, Daisy did have some kind of incident with her training a week or 2 ago. So we might see her up for a sumo position here when she's usually a conventional puller.
Yeah,
There we go.
there we go. And I think she, after hurting her back, only just managed to pull 70 from block. So that was only a couple weeks ago. So great to see her managing to deadlift today.
Yeah, I think she did 1, maybe 2 sessions of sumo. So it's actually looking quite nice for someone that's not very practiced.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe this is time to make the switch.
Yeah, I was talking to our coach. I think he said that he wanted to switch her, but was going to do it after Worlds, but his hand has been forced.
Yeah, the deadlift gods have spoken. Ronja Ruti from Finland, 140 kilos, opening on her deadlift PB.
Koukut kiinni ja vetoja.
Very comfortable looking opener for Ruti.
From Singapore. 145 kilos for her opener. Bar is loaded.
145 kilos for Yu Ning Yi from Singapore.
Very snappy.
That's good lift.
And that is a good lift.
From New Zealand. 155 kilos of the opener. The bar is loaded.
The bar is loaded for Tyler Rowland from New Zealand, 155 kilos.
Lots of support from her New Zealand friends and family.
And that is a good lift for Tyra.
Only 7 kilos below her personal best, so we'll see what they end up jumping to.
From Canada. The bar is loaded.
Andrea Van Dyke from Canada, 155 kilos.
Ooh, just lost balance there, I think.
Yeah, I think that is what happened. We'll have a look at the replay. But it's something that can be easily fixed in a second. It's not a strength issue. It's a shame it was just at the top before lockout. I think her knee unlocked and then kind of threw her back.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Paula Alonso Vasquez from Spain, 157.5 kilos.
Polar opposites here. Very, very narrow squat stance, and now going into a sumo stance for her deadlift. She's been having a fantastic day.
Yeah, and each time she's made a new lift, she seemed surprised and happy with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe just PBs on everything.
From Costa Rica.
Perhaps has had the peak of a lifetime.
160 kilos. Opener.
Our final opening attempt in the 57B group is Maria Gabriela Rojas Soles from Costa Rica with 160 kilos.
Good leg.
Very comfortable looking opener.
Second round. Round comes first.
And that concludes our opening attempts. Rojas Solis leading with 160, followed by Alonso Vasquez and Roland. Of course, we still have the second and third attempts of the B group, as well as all of the attempts of the A group later tonight. We head through now to the second round of deadlifts. Kicking us off, we have Elise Lombardo from Malta with 120 kilos. Excellent work. Fighting through that. A good lift. 3 white lights.
Yeah, the typical conventional grind we end up seeing quite often from these lifters.
Yeah, manages to pull through even when the legs started shaking, which you know means you're near your top end.
Voting.
130 kilos for Van der Deme from Hungary. My new favorite metric for 130 kilos is it's about the average weight of an adult orangutan.
There you go, the more you know.
Unfortunately, it looked a bit like a strength issue there. Easier to see a sumo lifter coming back from that sort of fail, but it's at her top end weight. So we'll have to wait and see. 135 kilos for Daisy Brooks from Australia.
We'll see if this moves just as quickly as her opener.
Yeah, looks smooth. A good lift, 3 white lights.
Coaching team looks happy with that.
At least she had a week to change. I have seen a lifter change on the platform between attempts, their stance.
Yeah, that's a lifter's worst nightmare.
140 kilos for Natalia Maha from Ukraine. That is a good lift, 3 white lights. Bittersweet for the rest of the competition to go so well for Maha, obviously not being able to post a total.
Yeah, I think from memory she got all 3 bench press attempts. She's 2
Yeah.
from 2 on deadlift, so it is a big shame.
Ronja Ruti from Finland, 145 kilos.
Slightly more sticky than her opener, but still looks like she has a little bit left there.
Yeah, and it's not about whose third attempt's going to look the easiest, it's about getting those kilos in. Now a lifter in a bit of a tricky situation. Andrea Van Dyke from Canada just seemed to lose balance, or her knees locked and unlocked, but either way, didn't seem like it was a strength issue. Just got knocked out of balance and position and got shot back a bit.
Yeah, she might slow herself down here and just make sure of it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's easy to want to rush that deadlift opener.
Let's go.
Oh, it's a completely different lift.
Yeah, there we go. On the board.
It's easy to be frustrated after missing your opener on a technicality and getting on your second. But it's important to remember you'd be in a much worse mood if you didn't get it on your second as well.
Very great point.
Always looking on the bright side. Yuning Yi, 157.5 kilos for Singapore.
One of the bigger jumps this session.
Yeah, 12.5 kilo jump. I think the biggest jump we've seen so far, and probably will for this deadlift session.
Still had plenty of pace.
Yeah, good lift, 3 white lights. A few kilos left in her for her third attempt.
160 kilos for Tyra. The bar is loaded. According to attempt.
160 kilos for Tyra Rowland from New Zealand.
Let's go, Tyra.
2 kilos underneath her personal best.
Come on.
Almost identical to her opener, to be honest.
Yeah, still really nice and smooth. Has incredible patience off that ground from that sumo position.
Will look to load the blue plate, I'm sure.
Bar is loaded. This will take her.
Bar is loaded for Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica. 170 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her opener. And our penultimate second attempt.
Vamos, Maria. Vamos, fuerte. Come on.
I believe that's going to be a no lift because of downwards movement, and I think she knew it.
Yeah, she looked strong enough. I mean, she manhandled it back into position after it going down.
What's your opinion on that if the lifter's aware that they're not going to get the lift but they fight through it anyway?
I mean, we've seen stranger things. I think it's worth playing it off if it's not going to tax you too much.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was referencing, you know. Is it worth just saving that energy? But hopefully it's something she can come back and get on her third. Paula Alonso Vasquez, 170 kilos, another 12.5 kilo jump.
No pesa.
Yeah, very speedy opener.
Vamos.
Let's see if it slows down. Not
It
really.
did not, no.
She was smiling on the way. Very up.
She's been the happiest lifter today.
Yeah, that was just 2.5 kilos below her personal best. So I imagine we'll see yet another PB from her on her third attempt based on how everything's moving.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to try and chase her down for heaviest deadlift of this session.
We head through to our third and final deadlifts now of this 57 kilo B group. 122.5 kilos for Elise Lombardo from Malta, jumping 2.5 kilos.
The bar is loaded. Elise Lombardo, Hong Kong.
Almost matching her 123 kilo deadlift PB.
Hit a bit of turbulence in her second, but managed to pull it through. Can she do it again here? No, fortunately not. It's been a long day. I think it's important to remember a lot goes into competition day. It's physically and mentally taxing, as well as emotionally taxing a lot of the time.
This is true. It also is really hot here in Malta.
It is. I'm sure she's used to that being Maltese, but it is warm. 130 kilos for Van der Deme from Hungary.
Yeah, repeating her second attempt.
Yeah, it seems like a strength issue, but again with sumo lifters, sometimes they can slightly change up their position. I've seen a sumo lifter not break the ground on their second and then do an 11-second grind and get it on their third. Unfortunately, not for Vander today though.
Way too heavy today. Daisy Brooks, Australia.
Yet to see a successful third attempt here. Of course, and Maha choosing not to come out for her third. Daisy Brooks from Australia, jumping 5 kilos to 140.
With her sumo debut.
Yeah, everything's a PB if it's a debut.
Yeah, that's true.
And has been smiling all the way through as well.
Yeah, she's got a great attitude.
Just not there today, and it's not worth pushing through, especially if she's dealing with some sort of injury at the moment.
Alright, so we've got 4 in a row. We might see a, hopefully not, repeat of last night's 59 kilo deadlift session.
Luckily, what was it, 13 no lifts
Yeah, I
yesterday?
think 11 in a row, and then 13 out of 14 lifters missed.
The good news is there's only 10 in this flight, so even if they all missed, it wouldn't be as bad.
That's one way to look at it.
Again, always looking on the bright side. Ronja Ruti from Finland, 147.5 kilos. Can she be the first lifter to make that third attempt?
Let's see, can she squeeze out another 2 kilos?
It's yours.
Did get a little bit sticky. Let's see.
And I believe the curse has been lifted.
Yes, it has.
3 white lights, a good lift, and what a day of lifting for Ruti.
There we go, we should be back on track now. Alright. They did load the blue, and it is a 2.5 kilo PB if she is successful.
Yeah, always satisfying getting a new plate on the bar.
Her last attempt was good. I think she is good for 5 more. Let's see.
Tyra Rowland from New Zealand now, 165 kilos.
Finishing off what it is a great day.
Wait for the lights. 3 white lights.
There we go. A
Big.
PB on the world's platform.
Yeah, big day for Tyra. Just 4 lifts remaining before we conclude this afternoon's session. Andrea Van Dyke from Canada jumping 15 kilos. Now I said 12 and a half was going to be the biggest jump we probably saw in this flight, and I stand corrected. 170 kilos on the bar for Andrea Van Dyke for a new personal best on deadlift. A 395 total. unfortunately not. I imagine that was her planned third anyway, and
Yeah.
missing her first, she wanted the opportunity to try out on her third, but I've said it time and time again, it's not just about ending up where you wanted to end up, it's about how you get there and the jumps you make. 15 kilos is a lot for a 57 kilo
Yeah,
lifter.
that is a big jump. Speaking of big jumps,
Yeah, yet again, a 12.5 kilo jump for Yu Ning Yi from Singapore. 170 kilos on the bar.
it hasn't slowed down just yet, but we might see it here.
You got it.
Unfortunately, it was hard anyway, but it started coming off the ground uneven as well.
Two
There we go.
attempts to go. Now Maria Rojas. Silver medal attempt on total. Ola Roland.
Our penultimate deadlift of this session, Maria Gabriela Rojas Solis from Costa Rica, missed 170 on her second, has gone up 2.5 kilos anyway for her third attempt. This would improve her personal best total by 12.5 kilos and her best deadlift by 12.5 kilos as well.
A temporary deadlift gold.
Vamos.
Moving better than her second. Would you look at that?
There we go.
Free white lights a good lift and ends on a 402.5 kilo total.
Yeah, crossed right into the 400 kilo total mark.
Yeah, 3 lifters in this B group actually have been able to do so, which is amazing.
She also wants to have the
Our final lifter of this session, Paula Alonso Vasquez, 180 kilos, a 10 kilo jump from her second. Her second looked good and she surprised herself over and over again today to move her into deadlift gold for the time being, with the A group to follow this evening.
Yeah, if the rest of her day is anything to go by, she should be good for this.
One more lift of the day, a huge pull for Paula. I imagine we'll see quite the celebration should you get this as well. Oh my goodness.
Wow, what a grind.
The surprise on her face.
There it is.
Leaps off of the platform into the arms of her coach. What a phenomenal day Alonso Vasquez has had.
Wow.
The surprise there.
Yeah, 420 kilo total. That is huge.
That is very big. I'm going to be interested in seeing where she ends up overall when the 2 flights have finished lifting. And a quick summary here. Currently in bronze for deadlift, Roland from New Zealand. In silver, Rojas Solis from Costa Rica. And Alonso Vasquez from Spain with 180. Of course, this is subject to change. 3 lifters in this flight going above 400 kilo totals is absolutely incredible. We will see who walks away world champion later at 7 p.m. local time when we see the A group fight for that. We will have the medal ceremony of the 52 kilo juniors now, so don't go anywhere and we will see you then.
have our Alex Matheson from Great Britain. And the medals, participation medals as a thank you and as a memory of being here in Malta 2024 Classic World Championships of juniors and sub-juniors. And we will now give only the participation medals to 52 category because there is in the evening Group A. So we will start with squat medals on 52 kilo category. So we go with squat medals. 52 kilo category. Bronze medal on squat goes to Yara El Haddad from Netherlands. With the best attempt of 145 kilos. Squat silver medal goes to Christy Sim from Mexico. With the best attempt of 147.5 kilos. And the gold medal on squat goes to Elisa Lisiano from Italy. With the best